It looks like Aaron Rodgers is in the news once again, and for two different things. He recently came out to talk about the Packers' offense and made some serious comments about them. But what happened? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss how Aaron Rodgers is standing by the comments he made on the Packers' offense, and how he doubled down on comments about the team's mental errors. First up, Aaron Rodgers stands by comments on the Packers' offense and says no one raised issues with him. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers quarterback, had some comments and assessment based on their offense. However, it was revealed that they haven't addressed any of his assessments with him. His teammates and his coach Matt LaFleur haven't brought anything up with him. This is according to an interview after his weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee show. Here, he spoke about the idea that players were making too many mistakes and that those shouldn't be playing. He said that they've got to start cutting some people, and maybe guys who aren't playing need a chance. Rodgers went on to say that nothing has been shared behind closed doors and within the team. He stated that if one of the guys has a problem with it, he's right here, and that he'd love to have a conversation about it. He said he loves those conversations and enjoys any type of conflict like that because he knows the resolution on the other side, and it's going to make the entire team a better unit going forward and make a better friendship. This all leads to better cohesion on the field, but nobody has come to him and said anything. He said he was waiting for someone to come up to him and say, "I've got a problem with what you said," and he thinks that everyone knows that there's a problem, but no one has said anything. If someone comes up to him, it'll make things better in the long run. Rodgers also didn't back down from the comments when he was asked to clarify them in the first place. He said that he didn't understand why people have a problem with facts that are truthful. He was calling it in a way that he sees it, and people don't think that he needs to talk about it, and that's their opinion. He's doing what he thinks is right and what's in the best interest of the entire team. He's tried a lot of different things from a leadership standpoint throughout this year alone, and was just related to his personal feelings about the situation. He didn't call anyone out by name, nor was he forcing anyone to leave. All he did was try to iron out some sort of details, and that even includes him if he's the problem. Rodgers also commented on how he was open to even more extra conversations with coaches and teammates throughout the weeks to help fix things up. It was a bit weird, however, as Rodgers didn't practice during the time of all this release, as he had an injured right thumb. He wouldn't say if it was broken or not. However, he did then go on to move around his treatment time so he could practice during the next session, and still calls plays in the huddle even with the injury. The Packers also ended up moving one of their regular meetings up by a day so that he could attend. Just a few days after all of this went down, Rodgers then told McAfee that they had missed assignments and had mental errors on as many as 20% of their overall offensive plays during the season. This also included the most recent loss to the Washington Commanders that dropped the Packers to 3-4 after it was 3-1 at the beginning.
Stays on his feet, still backing, now falls down and ends up losing 6 yards.
If you're not performing or executing or doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, then I'm with Aaron, veteran receiver Sammy Watkins said Wednesday. If I'm not playing well and I'm up and busting plays, get me out of the game, because that's not helping the team. I think that's a wake-up call to everybody, a wake-up call to myself. I try to limit myself to having 1 MA a game, and that's my goal. The goal is to have none, but things happen in the fire. I'm with Aaron, man. Sam Watkins would then return after a 4-week absence due to his most recent hamstring injury, and then rookie Christian Watson would also return for the most recent game against the Buffalo Bills after missing 2 weeks for a similar injury. However, they seem to be going without Allen Lazard, as he didn't practice recently due to a shoulder injury. When Samori Toure was active during the Washington game, it meant that basically every receiver on the roster got a chance this season. This makes it unclear whom Rodgers thinks should be playing more, as every player has at least played once. Maybe he feels like some of the players who are making more mistakes need to go out.
It's a big factor. Third down, blitz is coming, Rodgers in trouble and he's sacked.
And the others who haven't played as much need to come in. He went on during the interview to talk about how they've got their best 11 on the field, and that means that they might need to swap things up in the future if even the best isn't doing great. He said they can't have the same double digits, as 15+ mental errors are not going to move the ball efficiently enough. You can be a dangerous team when you feel like you have a lot of power, and when you're kind of counted out, Rodgers said. So I welcome us being counted out as much as possible. I've always enjoyed that that feeling. And for these guys who have a lot to prove, hopefully they embrace that as well. It's time to make a name for yourself in this league, and a lot of guys are going to get opportunities on Sunday on national TV with millions and millions of people watching. A great time for some of those guys to step into the limelight. What do you think about Aaron's comments surrounding his team's offense, and who should be in and out? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, tell us your thoughts on the Packers this season thus far. And now, on to what else Aaron Rodgers has said. Next up, Aaron Rodgers doubles down on his comments surrounding his team's mental errors. Aaron Rodgers was in the news once again during the same appearance through the Pat McAfee show as he spoke about his team's mental errors.
With an even greater integration of a lot of those lessons.
Great perspective, great gratitude.
We touched upon this earlier in the video, but let's get deeper into what he said and how you would double down there on his comments. He spoke about the team's overall mental errors and not the efforts of the opposing commanders, as the errors were the main issue of the team's 23-21 loss recently. He said that Washington didn't have anything to do with it, and there were so many mental mistakes and errors within the team. Rodgers went on to estimate that the team had mental errors on upwards of 20% of its offensive snaps, which were quite frankly poor. He said that the guys on the field that were making too many mistakes shouldn't be playing, which will hopefully start cutting some reps. Aaron Rodgers is a back-to-back MVP winner and was recently asked about his comments after the interview went live. He said that he was not going to back off from his comments, as he feels that his teammates should get less playing time. One of his teammates came out to agree about what he said during the interview, that being Sammy Watkins, who is in his first year with the Packers. He said he welcomes teammates being pulled and himself being pulled if he's not playing up to the standards of the team. He was quoted as saying that if you're not performing or executing or doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, that he's with Aaron. He spoke about how if he's not playing well and he's busting up players and making things go wrong, then get him out of the game because it's not helping the team. He said it's a wake-up call for everybody on the team and in the sport as a whole. Watkins said he was trying to limit himself to having one MA a game, and that's his overall goal. The goal is to have known, but if things happen to him, he's fine and should be taken out of the game if needed. Watkins is also a pretty good example of what is wrong with the Packers recently, which is talent and availability. They might want to swap players out, but they don't have the best talent in the game and don't have the people to swap through. Please let us know in the comments section below what you think about all of this, as well as your opinions on what Watkins said in his agreement with Rodgers. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know in the comments section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!